Stupid things non-car guys say. It's two-wheel drive. Okay, so is it rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive? Nah, it's two-wheel drive. Alright, so to people who say two-wheel drive, both rear-wheel drive and front-wheel drive are considered two-wheel drive. Therefore, you need to specify which one you're actually talking about because there's a massive difference between the two. Also, it's even worse when they go on to say, oh, but my car uses the front wheels to steer, so it's front-wheel drive. No. What, you think rear-wheel drive cars use only their back wheels to steer? Hell no. This is why people should just stop using two-wheel drive as a term. It sucks. That doesn't properly describe a car's drivetrain. It honestly brings up more questions than answers, especially if neither party knows a damn thing about cars. So front-wheel drive is when the car's front wheels are responsible for power delivery. Rear-wheel drive is when the car's rear wheels are responsible for power delivery. Every car, whether it's front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, or cross-wheel drive, they all use their front wheels as primary means of steering. On certain vehicles, the rear wheels may also assist with steering, but this isn't unique to just rear-wheel drive. Even some four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and front-wheel drive vehicles can use their rear wheels to steer on occasion. So the whole whichever wheels are steering equals drivetrain, that's not a good line of logic. Never use steering as the dictating factor to determine a car's drivetrain. Always remember, drivetrains are designated based on which wheels are responsible for power delivery, not steering. My car is somehow different than everyone else's from factory. No, Jim, your car is bone stock. It's not different from other bone stock cars. Not from a noticeably measurable standpoint anyways. I know from a dyno standpoint, some cars don't always perfectly match with the other even when they come straight out of factory, but the differences are usually minor. They're never massive ones. Unfortunately, there are plenty of people who think that their car does have a massive difference from other people who bought the same exact model. If you're anyone who's ever read any car forum ever and have seen new members who just bought their car, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They'll say stupid things like, oh, I just bought my M3 and it came with this minor paint scratch. I guess that means it's 0.0001 grams lighter than all of your guys' M3, so yeah, my 0 to 60 time, whole second shorter than all of you guys because weight reduction, bro. That's obviously an over-exaggeration, but given the ridiculousness of most of their claims anyways, that's about how stupid they sound. It's even funnier when they have a special edition car, like for example, I have a Mustang GT California Special, and I'm struggling to find the dipstick. I guess it's in a different location than the regular Mustangs. Like, get off your high horse. In reality, it's in the same location as other Mustang GTs. Your California Special isn't some super duper special edition that the manufacturer had to go out of their way to make a completely different assembly line for. Most cars are usually assembled in a similar manner when they're the same model. It'd just be inefficient to make one some special surprise snowflake. It's not like you won some invisible car lottery when you bought your brand new OEM car and it's somehow magically better and better assembled than all the other cars that's the exact same model. That's just not how it works. Again, just any forum, you'll see stupid claims, like people even taking seconds off of their freaking quarter-mile times. People who think grocery getters are faster than sports cars. So I already touched on the subject in an older video about dumb things non-car guys say, but I have to cover it again because it never ceases to amaze me how people still do this. And this time I'm going to clarify it deeper. So to a lot of non-car people watching, when you're shopping around for a new car, you guys usually only research your grocery getters, so you only see the advances that they've made in the past few decades and don't really see the advances of sports cars because you're not looking at sports cars. So a lot of you guys are now realizing that your grocery getters are coming with turbochargers and even 300 horsepower. And given that knowledge, you guys probably now think that you can beat any sports car you see because Mustangs have 300 horsepower, right? You're now the same speed as a Mustang, and Corvettes have 400, so you can almost beat them if they're not trying, and Lamborghinis only have 600, so that's only twice what you have. That's horribly wrong. So think about this, just use your head for a bit. If grocery getters are becoming more efficient and faster, what do you think sports cars have been doing in the same past 2 decades? They also got faster. In fact, the whole reason your grocery getters are getting faster is because sports cars got faster. The technology used in performance grocery getters originates from sports cars. It's trickle-down technology. A company will go out of their way to make a high-performance vehicle, sometimes even a supercar. And if it isn't financially profitable at first, they still take that hit because later on, all the research and development spent on making that supercar will eventually find its way all the way down into your grocery getter. It's the exact opposite. Sports cars always are the first ones to receive performance upgrades because no duh, they're sports cars. So I get that you guys are only looking at Honda Accords and Toyota Camrys, but if you just spend a single second and just Google the horsepower of those sports cars that you now think you're faster than, you'll find that, well, you're still slower than them. Unfortunately, that still doesn't convince some people because another dumb thing people say is, wow, I just beat a loud sports car in a race today at the stoplight. First off, a race includes participants like any other competition. If the other person or other people aren't willing participants, then no competition actually occurred, therefore you didn't actually win anything. On occasion, some people in this category also tie back into the my car is somehow different than everyone else's. They'll say, my Camry must be faster than other Camrys because I just beat that loud Mustang. No, you didn't. He wasn't even trying to race you. He was just going home from a long day at work. A huge misconception is that when non-car people hear our cars being loud, think we're pressing our gas all the way down and thus are trying to our fullest capacity. When they pass us while we're being loud, they think, oh my god, I just beat them in the race and they were actually trying. No, we weren't. There are three main reasons why performance cars are just generally loud all the time, even when we aren't mashing the pedal all the way down and even when we aren't even trying to go fast. The first reason is that they have less restrictive exhaust systems, which allows for better performance, better airflow, and also, of course, results in louder sound. The second reason is that performance cars have less insulation, and oftentimes they won't have any at all. For a performance sake, most companies will do this to keep the weight down. And also, let's be real, why would you need sound deadening in a sports car? You're supposed to hear it. Now the final reason is that performance cars have an intense powertrain, both the engine and the transmission alike. The aggressive gearing in the transmission will make for louder downshifts, and its behavior to hold lower gears longer also makes more noise. The powerful engine will also just naturally be louder than a weaker engine. Here's an analogy. Let's say you're walking to class and you just so happen to see the world's fastest sprinter walking alongside you. If you start to outpace them, it doesn't mean you're faster and more physically fit than them, especially since they weren't even trying to race you. And if they were to try to race you, they'd smoke you due to having a better physique for speed. Their powerful lungs will efficiently breathe in more air than you, which will likely result in their breathing being more audible than yours. It's the same with cars. Just because you pass a sports car, that doesn't mean you're faster and more capable than them. Just like athletes who want to just chill and walk to the nearest grocery store, a lot of people with sports cars who daily drive them do the same thing. They just want to chill and just drive it normally every now and then. They don't always want to go zoom all day every day for the same reason that an athlete isn't going to sprint everywhere and anywhere all the time. That's going to be it for this video, and if you haven't gotten your fill about stupid things people say about cars, here are two more videos for you. One about stupid things that we say to each other as car guys, because trust me, we aren't immune to our own stupidity at times, and the other being about more dumb things that non-car guys say. Till then, thanks for watching, and see y'all next time. Blade Angel out.